Welcome everyone to Things Around 8. Dear friends, in this video we will talk about a recent interview given by Kirill Budanov, head of Ukrainian intelligence, who said that Russia has until December 2025 as the deadline to win the conflict. If there is no victory by this date, Russia will lose its status as a global power. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate the notification bells so you don't miss any news. During an event held in Kyiv this Saturday, September 14th, Kirill Budanov, the head of Ukrainian intelligence and the person directly responsible for the conception of most of the major Ukrainian operations, said that Putin's goal is to win the war by the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026 at the latest. According to Budanov, the reason for this is Russia's macroeconomic difficulties and the challenges the country is facing in maintaining a constant flow of soldiers to the front line. According to Budanov's analysis, based on privileged information obtained through the Ukrainian intelligence department, the Russian government knows that its internal problems will begin to spiral out of control in the summer of 2025, between June and August. But what exactly are these problems and how can they affect a country like Russia? The most important issue raised by Budanov is related to the Russian economy. As I have said in other videos here on the channel, the Russian economy is quite buoyant due to the heavy investments made by Putin in the defense industry. After realizing that his invasion of Ukraine would be long, Putin was forced to militarize his economy, expanding and opening new production lines for weapons, vehicles, aircraft, and mainly ammunition. This led to strong hiring that drastically reduced unemployment levels in the country, while at the same time increasing the average purchasing power of families in Russian industrial centers. However, this economic growth is seen as artificial and incapable of being sustained in the long term, since as the months and years go by, the economy's dependence on war becomes so great that other industrial sectors that are vital to a full society, such as the production of civilian vehicles and medical and hospital equipment, end up being irreparably compromised. In other words, according to Budanov, from the summer of 2025 onwards, Russian industries will produce almost exclusively weapons and ammunition. This is enough to keep unemployment levels low, but it will have a terrible impact on other important aspects of Russian society, something that, in the long term, will have serious repercussions on the performance of the economy as a whole, especially in the sectors that are more export-oriented. Another point highlighted by Budanov is related to the increasing difficulties faced by Putin in recruiting new soldiers. According to several sources, when Putin invaded Ukraine in February 2022, he sent in around 200,000 soldiers, all of them contract soldiers. But just 6 months later, he was forced to carry out an emergency partial mobilization to, according to the Kremlin, recruit around 300,000 troops to replace losses accumulated in the invasion. According to the Kremlin, another 400,000 soldiers were recruited for the invasion in 2023 through the signing of very advantageous financial contracts. However, now in 2024, probably due to the high casualties, the Kremlin is having great difficulty in hiring new soldiers, even offering even higher amounts, reaching amounts in the order of $48,000, a small fortune by Russian standards. A country like Russia, suffering from heavy sanctions and with a smaller economy than Brazil, is not capable of maintaining, in the long term, an army with more than 500,000 fighters, with each one receiving tens of thousands of dollars per contract. And that's without counting the insurance for death and permanent disability, which, depending on the contract, can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, if even offering so much money, Putin is not able to keep up the pace of new soldiers, Budanov believes that a new mobilization similar to the one in September 2022 will be inevitable, even though Putin knows how badly mobilizations are viewed by society. And we only need to look at what happened in 2022, when more than 300,000 Russians fled the country. And so, with the economy almost exclusively focused on the production of military goods and with large sectors stagnating, and with the government spending small fortunes to recruit soldiers and carrying out partial mobilizations to fill the gaps, Budanov believes that these are the elements for a perfect storm that Putin knows could hit his country by the end of 2025. Therefore, the Ukrainian government believes that by the summer of next year, which in Europe runs from June to September, Russia will do everything it can to achieve a truly advantageous position in the conflict so that, depending on the international geopolitical context, Putin can declare a victory that, although partial, could be enough for him to remain in power in Russia. But if Putin fails to achieve this, Budanov believes that Russia will lose its status as a global power over the next few decades, with the country being reduced to a mere regional power, orbiting around an increasingly larger and more powerful China, not only economically and industrially, but also, and most importantly, militarily. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate the notification bells so you don't miss any news.